Losing several hours of sleep, I finished it. I finally did it! I did it, people! I was gonna review this series episode by episode, and I am. I still am. But I want to do a first impression videos, kind of like Stranger Things. I posted a review of episode 2 on Vimeo. I believe it was... Are you kidding me? I turn on the camera and there's a helicopter. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna wait. I know you probably still can't even hear it, so I guess we're gonna move on. The stupid helicopter, but that's besides the point. What was I saying? All right, I bought a couple days ago. I uploaded a review of episode 2. The series is. I'm just gonna go over my first impressions and feelings and opinions of the show right now. Okay, so I was saying that episode 1 was probably the worst, and then I said episode 2 was, and I gotta say, episode 7 was the worst. Which is weird because that's the same bad episode of in Stranger Things season 2, which is like the only bad episode, and same with this show. And for the most part, the show does a great job expanding the world and showing where ideas in the original Dark Crystal came from in the movie, and there was many other like interesting tidbits about the world. They expanded these characters, and but episode 7 was trying to explain that these characters came from space, because it's not a spoiler. This was already revealed in the comic, and it's not a spoiler. It's just these characters come from space. You can't skip this episode, though. I will tell you that. Unlike episode 7 of Stranger Things season 2, it does have a lot of important stuff that I'm not going to spoil. There might be some mild spoilers, but I will warn you if I want to spoil anything, but just be wary of that if you don't want spoilers. But maybe not the best video to watch, because yeah, I'm just going off my first impressions. And just the pacing of that episode was bad. The humor of it felt like a little kid show. You got this one, so it's like a Mystic and a Skeksis kind of explaining the history of Thrawn, where they both came from, and what they need to do to save Thra, which is the name of this world, if you didn't know. Because I know some people don't even know that, because it's not even said in the movie. And it talked about how like they're both one, where there's like an alien, and where they're kind of an alien race that was given. I'm not going to go over all that. There's a comic series. It's actually, I just looked it up on Amazon because I kind of want to buy some physical copies of it, and and then they're releasing a complete volume set with all the volumes in it in hardcover next month. So if you want to go pre-order that, I'm not going to leave the link in the description, but I'm just saying, just like a Dark Crystal comic, it'll be like $28. It should say complete collection or something like that, and it kind of goes over this stuff some more, but the show just kind of barely touches on it. But the point is that the show is, that episode was just boring. It didn't even, I was bored so gosh dang much. I couldn't even, I can't even, I don't know if I'll ever watch that episode again. I probably will just one more time to review it, and then I'll probably just skip it when I rewatch the show, because now I have that information. I can just go on to the next episode. Maybe if I show someone the show, they'll, I don't know. But it was boring. It was bad. Like, the humor in it was bad. It was a very repetitive joke that the Mystic speaks really slow, which was, it's kind of rude that they're making fun of a mentally handicapped person. No, I'm just kidding. They're not. But, it was just, anyways. The show, but I do want to say though, I believe it was episode 5, or was it episode 6? I think it's episode 5. The one after, spoiler, you can skip ahead about a minute or two, and I'll probably be done. Where the characters, the princess, whatever her name, Mira, I believe. No, that's not right. But whatever, these Gelflings just don't have very memorable names. I don't like any to do this any of the characters really. But she, the princesses, their mom dies, and that whole funeral scene was beautiful. The song, the cinematography, the puppetry, the emotions, everything about that scene was beautiful. I wanted to cry. I didn't cry. I mean, I cry a lot of things. It doesn't take that much for me to cry, but this was just an absolutely beautiful scene. I think I was more amazed by the beauty of how well shot that scene was. The entire show was incredibly well shot. There was an sequence, and I believe this is episode 3, with the Hunter Skeksis, which is another spoiler, so I guess skip ahead to about 9 minutes into the video, where the Skeksis Hunter tries to kill Rian or whatever, and he kills his dad. And the way that character moved around the screen was so intricate, so interesting, and something you wouldn't expect, and it was beautiful. This whole show has amazing voice acting, voice talents, and just amazing stuff here. Taron Egerton, who played Elton John in Rocket Man, which I still haven't seen yet. I need to watch that movie at some point. He was brilliant as Rian. He didn't give the best performance, but he was of his career or anything. But it was a good performance. The voice acting was great. The character designs, I'm glad they fixed them, because the Gelflings were very ugly in the original, and I'm not gonna say they all look beautiful now, but they upgraded them. They look all right. And Deet is kind of have a crush on that character. That character is just so adorbs. So I just want to that face and her voice. I just love the voice acting. She was such a great, cute little character in the show. And her little buddy, sorry I forgot his name, was adorable as well. And it was just adorable watching those two go around. And I really enjoyed them. I thought all the characters in this series had great development. I thought the Skeksis were amazingly entertaining as villains, because they felt like the Emperor from Star Wars, where they're just bastards who just like being evil because they're just a bunch of shitbags, sorry for using that word, but it's just that's what they are. There's scenes of them just doing evil stuff that's oh my gosh. I gotta say though, there's no spoiler, the fact that they killed so many people, every episode ends with death, and this show was kind of depressing. That's why it took me so long. Stranger Things, okay, it's kind of depressing, but it only has depressing moments. It's mostly a fun show. This show ends every episode with death. Somebody, and all the characters are going to die if you've seen Dark Crystal, because the Gelfling race is wiped out. And so it's just kind of a depressing show, and it's very hard to get through. It's very emotionally draining. And I do say the latter half of season 1 is better than the first half. The first half is more just setup, and it kind of just is setting up where this goes. But once it starts picking up and you get more... But, I mean... I don't know. I think about episode 5, it gets really good, and that funeral scene, I cried. I almost cried. It was beautiful. I mean, I'm just saying, the cinematography in the original movie is great. It's great here. And it's just, I want the show to be successful, but since Dark Crystal's a cult thing, I don't think it's going to survive. I think it's going to end after one more season. And with the cliffhanger that the show ends on, I'd be mad if they didn't make another season with Deed. I'm not going to say what happens in the Skeksis' new plan, which I'm not going to say what happens there. But, I'm just saying something. It's just it's a very emotionally draining show. Just know that. But if I'd say watch like one episode a day or something, it makes it a lot easier to take in the emotions and how things go. It's only 10 episodes. I feel like a lot of these episodes need to be cut down to about 30 minutes, something like that. And I think episode 7 should have just been like something like that they put like in a prologue, or something explaining how this world came to be, or something. I don't know. It just really bad episode, honestly, if you ask me. I don't know. The show was, but yeah, I'm really excited to talk about the show some more because I really love this show. I like it more than I like the original movie, and that's mostly because the funeral scene was so amazing. I mean, if you can find like just that clip somewhere and watch that clip, and if you like that clip, watch the show. The characters are a lot better than they were in the original movie. I'm not saying they're great characters. The Skeksis are amazing, entertaining bastards. Just the biggest bastards you ever saw. I mean, just, oh my gosh, I hated these guys so much. But in a good way. And it was just so entertaining to watch those guys. I mean, their political babblings and everything. It was just, oh my gosh, I loved it. I actually really liked this. So, yeah, that's my first impressions on the series. I wonder how a season 2 would do. I don't know, because the way this ends, yes, they're planning to make one. I just don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be as good as a story as this one. I mean, they have to, because the Gelflings are, something happens at the end. I'm not gonna spoil, but I'm just saying it was good. Go watch it if you like Dark Crystal. And I would say if you like Dark Crystal, watch this show. I would say if you haven't heard of Dark Crystal, you don't even know what it is, watch Dark Crystal, the movie, which are both on Netflix, the series and the movie. And if you like the movie, then you can watch the show. Because, once you start watching an episode, you might get committed and you may not be enjoying it. So I'm just saying, just watch one episode, watch the one movie, and then if you like that, continue to watch the rest. It was great.